Greetings, Brother Ravana Noon here. Dark greetings to all. Today we're discussing the ideas or principles of a Luciferian vampire. Luciferianism and vampirism have similar philosophy, so much so that they're interchangeable or intertwined with one another, thus easily practiced and understood by those who are walking that path. The first principle or idea is you are the only God that is. For many, this is difficult to understand because we still have that programming where we must, some way, somehow, associate our life, our success or failures to some external source, some external deity, something outside of ourselves. So thus, a lot of times that breeds worship. Worshipping something externally is one of the most heinous things you can do in your life, because you give away your power. You give away your dreams and wishes, your plans and goals to something external. So thus, if you accomplish it, everything is God allowed me to do such and such. And if you fail, then the devil or whatever you want to blame is the reason for my failure. There's no accountability, no responsibility in that mentality. So thus it breeds people who never take responsibility, who become lazy or stagnant in their life and want to blame everything and everyone for their miserable existence. Being the only God that is simply that. You are the only God that is. You are not anyone else's responsibility but your own. You realize that to be a God is to be responsible for the creation of your life and the destruction of your life every moment of the day. You create your life and you destroy your life by what you believe in here, by what you accept and allow to affect you from within here. To be the only God that is simply that. That does not mean that there are not other gods, other people who take responsibility for creating and destroying their lives. But I respect those individuals, but I will not worship them. I will not worship anything outside myself. That doesn't mean that I go on to a delusional tirade where I must destroy everything that exists outside of myself that claims to be a god. Once again, you're back to a delusional ego. The ego is necessary for your existence. It can empower you if you exalt it without the delusions that you are some incarnate being, some god or goddess that's incarnated, that you are an ancient Kemetic god or goddess, an Atir from the past. No, that's delusional. That you are your own God, that you are creating yourself to be the most powerful being you could be within your universe, within its multiverses. You respect those others who have accomplished the goals and task of becoming their own God. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion are you so affected by someone else's successes or failures that it causes you to go become delusional and want to destroy them or everyone else. As a Luciferian, there's no need to destroy anything or anyone else until you cross the line and come at me. Because our whole responsibility is to ourselves. Our whole focus is to ourselves and our loved ones. And our elevation, consciously, physically, spiritually. That is our whole focus. Not anyone else. You are the only God that allows you to be in control when you begin the job of astral travel and astral projection. Because yes, there's vibrational frequencies, entities, so to speak, that await the weak ones. That await the mentally ill ones. That await you in the astral plane to devour you. To possess you. To control you. And if you do not remember that you are the only God that you are the master in control of your existence, that you are the master in control of your astral projection, you can be simply food for the gods. That, so to speak, metaphor will be easily understood in that moment. Number 2, all deific mask. Archetypes, powers or spirits must manifest through you. You are the one that's responsible for any god, goddess, demon, spirit. You are responsible for their existence. Because you acknowledge their existence, they now become real to you. When you remember that all of this cannot manifest until you allow it through the power of your mind, then you'll start to remember why number 1 is so important. You are the only God that is. You must be the strongest you can be. The strongest version you can be. You must become the most powerful version of yourself. You must be impenetrable. You must not be easily affected by the opinion of others. You must not be easily thrown off your game by others. You must remain the strongest you can be. So that when a spirit tries to overpower you, you are the strongest that you can be. And thus, remain in control as the only God that is. That is a job in itself. Because in order to remember who and what you are, in order to remember the power of what you are and can be, you must go in to yourself and begin to undo the programming that has been laid within you since your birth into this planet. You must undo all that has been done in a way, shape, or fashion of programming and conditioning in your life. You must destroy the religious programming that has enslaved you mentally and makes you feel that you cannot accomplish anything without the aid of some god or goddess. You must do the job of liberating yourself mentally, because no one can do it but you. Sure, they can share knowledge and information that can spark you, that can help give you some form of guidance. But ultimately, the work has to be done by you, which will bring about the transformation. So you must applaud yourself for your work. You must applaud yourself for your initiative to take a class, to study a book, to do a ritual. You can be given all of those tools, but they become nothing if you don't take the initiative to take the first step and do the work. Many people like to read thousands and thousands and thousands of books. I know I have. I have a vast library covering numerous of topics in the occult and all kinds of other subjects. And that's wonderful, because knowledge is very powerful. But the misnomer is knowledge is power. Sorry, it's not. Knowledge in practice, applying that knowledge, leads to wisdom by the experiences you now have gained. Wisdom then becomes the power. Those experiences that you gained from applying that knowledge gave you the power to go forth and govern your life accordingly, to be in control of your life more than before. That is one of the main principles, one of the main purposes that we as Luciferian vampires put into effect. To obtain as much knowledge as to obtain as much knowledge as possible. You have to understand that you should be seeking to empower yourself. To empower yourself, one of the tasks that you must undertake, which I've said a few seconds ago to a minute ago, to obtain that power, to empower yourself, you must defeat all of your morals that have been dumped into your mind from your family, your friends, society, and religion. You must look at life and realize this crap of good and evil, right and wrong, is false. There is no good or evil, right or wrong, because a lot of that is and will always be based upon your perception. What could be right for you could be wrong for me, and vice versa. So we may choose to label that which is wrong for me as bad or evil. But as you grow, as you obtain the knowledge and the wisdom, you start to understand it's not evil or wrong. That it was a necessary experience that I had to go through to empower myself even more. If I learned a lesson of that experience, it will empower me even more to govern my life, to be the ruler over my life. So if you are becoming a vampire, then you must realize the principle of predator and prey. You must understand predatory spirituality. And you will understand that everything in existence feeds off of another. Feeds off of another. That you are feeding unconsciously without even realizing. And something is feeding off of you. Now, when you become conscious of it, you begin to empower yourself. And you become a powerful individual. Such as, let's say, Vlad the Impaler. Again, cut out your morals and your beliefs that you've been programmed with and stop saying Vlad was so evil and wrong. Vlad had a purpose and a goal that he set out to accomplish. And if you judge it based upon your old paradigm, you will miss it. When you empower yourself and become like Vlad the Impaler, you become like, let's say, a Morbius from the Marvel comics. When you become like Marcus and Victor and the Underworld saga, you start to understand what it means to be the only God that is. To be that vampire. You will understand what it means to devour or absorb energy. You will understand what it means to no longer fear. You will start to understand that some of the things that go bump in the night are because the power of the vampire is in your presence and you don't even realize it. You will start to be more in control of yourself. You will understand these things and you will start to process them and you will start to live a life that empowers you to be in control. You will realize that all living beings continue in their existence by feeding off of another. You just haven't paid attention to it yet because you still want to think Bambi's so sweet. And you get crushed or devastated if another animal preys off of Bambi and don't realize if that animal doesn't prey off of Bambi, then the ecology of this planet is thrown off, which is really pretty much what's happening now because the ecology has been thrown off by human interruption that's thrown it off completely. You will understand what it means to feed, to empower, to be strong. You will be the only God that is. And nothing will throw you off that. Nothing will shake you from that. You will understand that. And when you connect with like-minded individuals who've done the job and the work to empower themselves to be the only God that is in their life, then you can truly connect with a true circle of people who can move forward as one force. Until then, this unity and let's come together crap, let's overcome crap will never happen. Because mentally, you have too many issues, too much trauma, too many insecurities that disrupts and will destroy your unity in a short amount of time. And people, stop believing everything people sell you. If they tell you about their subjective experience and you co-sign that, you are back to being a religious fool. You will never see me really share subjective experiences on these videos or in even the personal private classes that we teach. Once in a while I may share something, but never will I go in full detail or just run off at the mouth for hours about my personal experience, my subjective experience. Because I'm not and do not want to have you believe my subjective experience as it being the marker of what it means to be an occultist, or what it means to be conscious, or what it means to be intelligent. No. Because when you start to co-sign on those people's experiences, subjective experiences, you're a fool. Because you're now falling for a new religious system that is being created right under your eyes, and you're being weak mentally and allowing yourself to be manipulated. Stop co-signing people's subjective experiences. Your subjective experience is just that, your own. And what you experience in that subjective realm is meant for you. And usually only you. And if I try to use that to share with the world or information like that, and you come running and suck that shit up, you deserve to be pimped. You deserve to be played, and you deserve to go back under a brainwashing because you have allowed yourself to be shafted without grease again. Be the powerful master over your life. Be that. Be that. Take control of your life. The purpose of these classes is for you to experience yourself, the power of yourself, to experience and overcome blockages, obstacles for yourself. Because they're your personal issues and problems that you must conquer to move forward as a success in this life. To be the strongest individual you can be is to start to understand that no one is going to feed off me. If anybody's going to do the feeding, it's going to be me. You may say, oh my gosh, that's harsh, that's wrong. Then you are a religious fool, keep it moving. I'm going to do the feeding here. I'm the one in control of my life. So I am not going to allow that to happen. This is the mentality we need to get as a people. You need to realize that when you are emotional and they trigger you, example, yes, tragic, yes, sad, the Kobe Bryant situation, and those who died in the helicopter crash, there was a total of 8 or 9, I believe. And you got emotional to the extreme about it, that exactly shows how you are fed off of. When you're triggered emotionally and you personally never knew Kobe Bryant, and if I recall about 8, 9, 10 years ago, some of y'all were crucifying Kobe Bryant for what he did outside his marriage, as if you were in his bedroom. And now you want to be on Kobe Bryant's side. Some of you all are so hypocritical and foolish. It's not even funny. But you allowed yourself to get triggered by that. You are those individuals who are easily fed off of. I can trigger your emotions. You feed me all that energy. Feed it to me. Give it to me. Like you just throwing that stuff away for free. And those individuals, the media, these institutions, are practicing predatory spirituality on your dumb masses right now, and you fall for it every time. Every time you fall for it. And it's tragic. They wait for traumatic events to occur to feed off of your ignorance, to feed off of your overly emotional selves. Then come the charlatans, the fools, and the idiots who want to get more followers. And now here is Kobe spoke to me last night. I made contact with Kobe. Here's the stupidity when it comes to that. Don't you think Kobe, the first person Kobe would contact is his own personal family? But you're so high and mighty that you think that he bypasses that personal connection and comes to you to share some kind of information, which is totally false what they try to say happened to Kobe. The weakness of the mind of human beings is unbelievable. But go ahead. Keep reacting to every traumatic event out there and watch how easily you're controlled and mentally enslaved for the rest of your life. A vampire, they do the feeding. They do the mind manipulation and control for the empowerment of their life. Oh, but that's so wrong, really? Well, you've been manipulated since you were young. Mentally manipulated since you were young. It started with your parents. Your parents mentally manipulated you first. You had to abide by their rules this way, that way, this. That's mental manipulation. Your free will is slowly crushed. Then the institution of learning, the educational system gets you. Your religious institutions get you. And before you know, you've been mentally manipulated to the extreme. Then as an adult, it is your responsibility to undo what has been done. So please do not run off at the mouth. If you believe that mental manipulation is wrong, keep it moving. This is not for you. Walk right out that door. Mental manipulation has always been a part of human existence. When you create a pet, you literally take a pet and break their will to your will. Mental manipulation. Many people are guilty of that. I mean, you want to get religious, we could break things down like that all day and show you how you still believe things are right or wrong and show you you're just as guilty as the people you accuse. No, today's not that day. Today's the day to empower yourself and learn how to be that vampire magician, and practice vampirism and learn to devour and absorb. Learn how to feed. Learn to become the only God that is. If you choose to find out more, the Vampyre Magick class, I'll extend the deadline because I've been getting an enormous and overwhelming response. So to be fair, I will extend the deadline to February 5th to sign up for the Vampyre Magick class. It's extended to February 5th. After that day, I'm closing it. There will be no exceptions. Unless you've already made prior agreements with me, such as a payment plan. Because the class is $100, there's a payment plan, and we could work out a payment plan. Or some other kind of agreements that we come to terms with. February 5th is the last day. For those who've already made the agreements, you know what your deadline is. For everybody else, February 5th. If you're really interested in learning Vampyre Magick and learning the true purpose of Vampyre Magick, which is more than just devouring, absorbing, feeding, things of that nature. There's a much greater purpose than that, but I won't discuss that here. That will be discussed in the class. Contact me at the new email address, theeternalblackflame666@gmail.com. Contact me if you're interested in the Vampyre Magick class at theeternalblackflame666@gmail.com. If you would love to make a payment or a payment plan and you want to sign up before or by February 5th, email me your name, number, and also put on there your email address and say I'm signing up for the payment plan of $25 a week or $25 every 2 weeks till you pay off your $100 for the class, or $50 every 2 weeks, or $50 one month, $50 the next month. The class is going to probably be 3, 4, 5 months. So within the first couple months, you pay it off. First 2 months, you pay off. That's your payment plan. You email me, let me know this is what I plan to do at theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. Theblackserpentclan@gmail.com is for PayPal. To make a payment through PayPal. Theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. I prefer CashApp, but I have PayPal for those who need it. Or CashApp is, my CashApp handle is $ Ravana with a capital R, RAVANA 9. So that's cash for my CashApp handle is $ capital RAVANA 9. And contact me and let me know that you're interested in signing up for the Vampyre Magick class. If you choose a payment plan, then let me know. Let me know that that's what you choose, and do your payment as soon as possible by February 5th, your first payment. If you're paying it in full, even better. The first meetup will be February 8th, so I need to have everybody signed up by February 5th unless you made prior agreement with me. Okay? So get everything ready for the first meetup. In the first meetup, we will discuss everything about the class, the tools you need, who's going to be the note taker, etc., etc. And then the following class will be a week or two after. The first class will be a week or two after that. It's your last chance, February 5th. You got the information. You understand a little bit more about Vampyre Magick. Some of the information I utilized came from Michael W. Ford today. Came from different sources that live and practice Vampyre Magick. So if you're interested, this is your opportunity. Email me at that's the eternal Black Flame 666. You must spell out all the words. The eternal Black Flame at the Eternal Black Flame 666 at gmail.com. Contact me there. Let me know your interest in the class, that I'm doing a payment plan, etc., etc. You already know the information for PayPal. That's theblackserpentclan at gmail.com. And you already know the information for CashApp, which is $ capital RAVANA number 9. That's the number 9 for the payment. I've had an overwhelming response, so I have to close the doors February 5th. Become the only God that is, and take power and control over your life. Now begins learning the magical systems that are utilized in the left-hand path. My first, and I've said this and shared this before, my first introduction over a decade or so ago into the left-hand path began with the Vampyre Magick. One of the first books I ever obtained in the left-hand path was Sechem Pep by Michael W. Ford. My entrance into the left-hand path was from a Vampyre Magick perspective, which is why this is my passion and why this class is so important to me and why I always go over this topic. Necromancy class, for those who sign up, begin February 7th. You will get the link tonight. February 7th, you will get the link tonight. Vampyre Magick, the link should go out tonight for the first meetup. And then we'll start rolling. After these two classes, Necromancy and Vampyre Magick, the next class will be Luciferianism and Luciferianism / Luciferian witchcraft. That's the next class, okay? That's not right away. That will be 3, 4, 5 months down the road. For those who signed up for the Shadow Work class, I enjoyed y'all. It was fun. A lot of y'all enjoyed it. It was fun for y'all. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the feedback. Now it's on to the next classes, more in-depth magical system study to find your forte on this path. We are now beginning that in 2020. My Patreon page, The Eternal Black Flame, the space Eternal Black Flame, all spaces in between, like a regular word. The Eternal Black Flame is the Patreon page. The link can be found on the YouTube page. Right there on the right hand corner of the screen, you will see the Patreon link. Patreon link is important because we have videos there that we will not discuss certain topics on YouTube. These are private classes and private videos for Patreon members. Powerful information, questions and answers, interview that's been done with Demetrius Clark, a good brother who's been with me for a minute. Necro Cannon, another good brother who's been with me for a minute, where I'm interviewing them, showing their power, their knowledge, and their experience. Okay? Yvette, beautiful sister, interviewed me. And many of the questions she asked is what a lot of people will be asked when they first start out on this path. Very powerful information. Necro Cannon's topic was about Vampyre Magick. From his experience and his perspective. Must listen. And Demetrius Clark was about blood magic. Power, purpose, things to do, not do. We're going to do a part 2 to that very soon. And very soon, I will be having a guest, Griffin Noir of the Court of Lightning Bay from Tampa, which I did a class with his Lightning Court last year. He's going to be discussing Vampyre Magick and his experiences with Vampyre Magick in the left-hand path. Very powerful brother. We're going to have him I'm going to interview him. I might make it public or just me and him and then put it on Patreon. Or I might make it public or put 10 minutes of it on public and the rest on Patreon. I got to meditate on that, but yes, that will be next. Probably this week we will do a class, an interview with him, which I look forward to. He's a strong brother, intelligent brother, and has been doing vampire magic for ages. Very good brother to learn from and listen to when it comes to this left-hand path and vampire magic. So I thank y'all for watching. Dark blessings, dark greetings. Until then, let the eternal black flame shine on.